Welcome to the start of copy editing. We're just gonna take it one day at a time and see how this goes. So wish me luck. It's not punishment. This isn't torture. It's just staring at the screen and scrolling. It's a lot of scrolling. Even if it is the only nonfiction book you read, you need to read this book. Can't cope anymore. I've reached my coping limit. Hello and welcome to a new vlog. Welcome if you're new here. Hi, I'm Andrea. Welcome back if you're one of my lovely returning friends. It's great to have you all here. Welcome to the start of copy editing and welcome to a ambitious and perhaps slightly delusional vlog where I attempt to copy edit my novel in 1 week. 5 days, Monday through Friday. So it is Monday, July 7th. I would love to finish copy editing by Friday, July 11th. So I'm going to be working on it a little bit each day, Monday through Friday. Looking at my schedule, like my calendar for the week, I don't think, let me look at it again. I think this morning was the only appointment I had all week. Yes. Somehow I have managed to have a week with only one appointment, and it was Monday morning. So I am already done with that appointment. So the rest of the week, the only thing I really have to do is I will need to go grocery shopping at some point later in the week. But yeah, I really want to get this done. I started talking about this in not the last vlog, but 2 vlogs ago. The vlog where I started the final phase of editing. I was starting the line editing. Line editing is now done. So, project update. What is the project? What is the update? So, if you're new here, the project is my Cozy Small Town Romance series, and it is book 4 in that series. So the series is called Independent Hearts. There are 3 books in the series so far: The Bookshop of Possibilities, The Inn of Hopes and Dreams, and The Candle Shop of Wicks and Whimsy. And I'm now working on book 4, which I know the title, but you all don't know the title yet. Hopefully somewhere around the end of the month, early August. As soon as I upload it, you will find out once I upload it, because I usually give all of that away in the upload day vlog. So all of that information is incoming. People who are subscribed to my newsletter and my Patreon, the newsletter is free, Patreon is $5 a month. Those people are going to get the most advanced alerts and announcements before it makes its way here to YouTube and Instagram. So make sure you are subscribed and or joined and or following on all of those places. Links are in the description box below. So that's the project. That's what we're working on. The update is I'm done line editing. I finished line editing in 3 days. Copy editing is going to take longer. I'm gonna make it take longer. I kind of burned out by doing the line editing so fast. It felt really good in the moment, but I was very tired, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I wasn't able to get any work done. So I basically did 7 chapters, counting the prologue as a chapter. I did 7 chapters on Tuesday, and then I did 8 chapters on Wednesday and 8 chapters including the epilogue as a chapter on Wednesday, or on Thursday. I did manage to cut a good chunk of words. If I pull up my writing history, I managed to cut a total of 2,554 words from the manuscript throughout the line editing process. That ended up being 870 words on the first day, 973 words on the second day, and 641 words, or 42 words, and 642 words on the third day that I was line editing. So after I finished the line edit, over the weekend, I read back through, I exported it from Scrivener as an EPUB and put it on my iPad mini, and I read through it like I was just reading any other ebook on my iPad. I talked about this a little bit in the last vlog. So the read through was truly meant to be just a quick read. It was meant to be just kind of reading through it at my normal reading pace as a reader as opposed to my reading pace as an editor, and just kind of reading it for vibes and funsies, like just what's the overall feeling from the book. So I've done that, so I can cross off the line edit and the quick read. So next is the copy edit in the list of things to do as part of this final process. So my goals for the copy edit, my starting word count for the copy edit draft is 96,993 words. I'm not really hoping to cut any more words. I'm okay with 97K being the rough final word count for the project. As I was going through and doing the quick read, there were definitely some sections where I'm like, this could still be tighter. I could still cut a word here, a word here, a word here, and make it just flow a little bit better. But then there were other sections where I just kind of felt like, I think during the line edit, you maybe made this a little too tight and it's losing something. So I'm still going to be doing a tiny bit of line editing while I'm doing the copy edit. So just as I was doing a little bit of copy editing while I was doing the line edit, and that might just be part of my new process. So that's what we're starting today. This is now the start of draft 6. Draft 5 was the line edit pass. So copy edit is going to be draft 6. I need to make a new tracker to list out all the chapters so that I can cross them off as I finish them. I don't really have any other like developmental goals, so I had a few goals for line editing to add in more summer, like summer I put in quotes, make sure that the summer vibes were there throughout the book. I think I've done that. And then making sure that the main characters were fully developed. And going through the line edit, I feel confident about all of those. Could I keep developing these characters? Yes. Am I going to? No, I'm going to cut myself off. This really is going to be more just making sure that the line edit is quite what I want, that just things are flowing the way I want, and that I'm happy with the word choices that I've made and things like that, and then doing the actual copy edits and focusing more on spelling, typos, grammar, all of those sorts of things, and less so on any of the more creative aspects. So this is going to be a much more mechanical pass, but there will be a few little creative tweaks that I make because I can't help myself. So yeah, that's where we're starting this week. This is going to be a full week vlog, Monday through Friday, the full work week, and I'm going to just copy edit as much of this book as possible within the next 5 days. In an ideal world, I will finish this by Friday. In a realistic world, I will finish this by the 15th, so Monday through Friday of this week, and then possibly Monday and Tuesday of next week. That would be an average of about 3 chapters a day. That feels realistic, but I'm really hoping I can be doing 4 to 5 chapters a day and finish it by Friday. So that's where we're starting. I will give you the kind of tally or like update of progress made by the end of today, and we're just going to take it one day at a time and see how this goes. So wish me luck. Apologies for the bad lighting. I'm okay. I feel like I need to preface this clip with that. I'm okay, but I'm not okay. I do not feel well today. I did not sleep. Something was going on with my GI system, and it's been that way. I'm having a really weird an unpredictable IBS flare at the moment. I was unwell Saturday night going into Sunday morning. I woke up at 2 a.m. Sunday morning just in a lot of pain. And it took me 2 hours before I could finally fall back asleep. But it was Sunday, it was the weekend, so like I could just sit and do nothing on Sunday. But last night I woke up at like 11:45. I think I managed to get back to bed by around 12:30 in the morning, but I still made myself wake up at about 5 because I've been sleeping in a bit. I've been sleeping until 6 or even closer to 7 a few nights, and I'm really trying to get back into waking up at 5, even if I'm not going hiking. So I still made myself get up at 5, even though I did not sleep well last night. And my stomach is still, well, my GI system, it's not really my stomach, it's everything, is still not doing well. Like, I'm getting hungry. I know I need to eat, so like I have to eat something, but I'm still dealing with a lot of pain and pressure throughout my whole GI system. It's boring and probably TMI and not something we want to talk about. So I need my cardigan. Hold on. So I'm tired and I'm not in a good mood, probably because I'm tired. Yeah, I'm not in a good mood, probably because I'm tired and I haven't slept well, and that's just, my anxiety is spiking, which not sleeping well will also spike my anxiety. Like, it just makes it harder for me to cope with everything. If this was a different stage of the editing process, or if I was still writing this, I would probably take the day off. I really don't want to not copy edit today. I'm thinking it's going to be other things on my task list that just won't get done. 2 of these I can definitely, like, I can just not do them today. The main things that do need to be done today are copy editing, and I need to finish editing tomorrow's vlog, but that is almost done. I was gonna do some work on Project Photograph today. I might still be able to do some of that, because what I was going to do, I can do on my laptop on the couch. So really, it's just editing. It's like the only thing I really need to be like sitting here at my desk for and like be really focused for. I have already done 1 chapter. I did 1 chapter this morning on the walking pad while I was watching the Tour de France. Towards the end of the race, I just was like, I think I can do a walk. So let me just get that done, and then I don't have to worry about that for later. And it was starting to feel like walking might make me feel better. When I first woke up, it was just that feeling of, I just want to go lay on the couch. I couldn't go for a hike if I had wanted to. I wouldn't have wanted to go out for a walk, and I didn't want to get on the treadmill. But after I've been awake for about an hour, I was starting to feel like I think I could do a walk. And so I thought, well, let me see if I can copy edit 1 chapter, and then it'll be 1 less chapter I have to do later. I did the prologue through chapter 4 yesterday, and I did chapter 5 this morning. I want to try to at least get through chapter 8. I need to be doing 4 to 5 chapters a day. And when I did the math and divided up the chapters, 3 of the days need to be 5 chapter days, 2 of the days can be 4 chapter days. And I think the middle of the book is where there are some longer chapters. So I think today and tomorrow might be 4 chapter days. And then Thursday and Friday, when I get back to some of the shorter chapters, might be 5 chapter days. Or I might do 4 today, 5 tomorrow, 4 then 5. 4 on Thursday, 5 on Friday. We'll see. I'm telling myself just do 4, see what time it is, see how I feel, and then I can make a decision based on how long that 5th chapter is, if I want to do a 5th one or if I just want to save that for tomorrow. We'll see. But I've got this instinct, and maybe it's because I just feel so bad in so many ways that it feels like the one thing that will make me feel a little bit better is if I at least get these at least 4 chapters crossed off my list. So, and it's still a positive thing. Like, I'm still escaping into my little world of these characters, and their stories. And so it's like, copy editing is not punishment. This isn't torture. I can't say I completely enjoy it, because copy editing isn't my favorite, but like, there are certainly worse things I can be doing in a day. So yeah, I've got all the blinds and curtains closed. The camera is making it look a little bit brighter in here than it is, but I'm lit by my monitors and fairy lights, and that's about it. But I am struggling with light sensitivity today, probably because I'm so tired. So I've got cozy office mode activated, and yeah, it's one of those days where I'm not feeling well, and I'm going to scale back on all the things I was planning to do today, but I'm still trying to get some work done, because that will make me feel better overall. And so I'm just trying to make it as positive and as cozy as possible. And it's not late. It's only 11 a.m. So I think if I can work for the next couple of hours, and then I think I might just not work on Project Photograph today, but we'll see. But like, I think I can get copy editing and vlog editing done by like 2, and then just take the rest of the day to just read and relax. So that's your update for today. I'm gonna get to work. I will give you an update on screen at the end of this editing session and let you know how far I get. Made good progress yesterday. Felt really good about that. So far, after, I can't remember where I was at the end of yesterday, but if I look at writing history for today, I've managed to cut 36 words so far today. So we're off to a good start. But yeah, I'm gonna get started on chapter 6, try to get through at least 6, 7, and 8 for the day. If I can get to chapter 9, that would be amazing, but I'm not going to push myself, because I'm already pushing myself enough by making it to the desk and doing more copy editing today. Okay, it is 3:30. I am done for the day. I should do a Patreon update, like a midweek Patreon update. I will do that, and then I'm gonna go read, or go get back to reading. I have been reading today. We'll talk about that in a moment. So it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Where are we at? We're done copy editing for the day. Be careful how you say that, Andrea. We are not done copy editing. We are more than halfway through copy editing. This was the middle day, and yeah, we are definitely more than halfway. So I have edited 14 chapters. I have 8 left. So I knew this week I needed to do 4 to 5 chapters a day over the course of these 5 days. I've been really trying Monday, Tuesday, and today to do 5 chapters so that tomorrow and Friday will be just a little bit easier. So your stats for today. The manuscript is now down to 96,601 words. I have managed to cut today 169 words, which means since the end of draft 4 and since starting line editing and copy editing, so between the line edit and the copy edit passes, I have cut a grand total of 2,946 words from this manuscript, which makes me so happy. So it's at 96.6 thousand, which means I've got 3,400 words-ish of wiggle room for all the front matter and all the back matter, including the author's note, the acknowledgements, all of that. I know a lot of authors don't do that. I always feel a bit cheated when I get to the end of a book and there isn't an author's note. Some books don't really gravitate towards that. I feel like with thrillers, I'm a lot more forgiving if there's not an author's note. Thrillers and mysteries, but if it's a historical fiction, if it's romance, if it's fantasy, I want an author's note. I want to know what inspired your research. I want to know where you got your idea. I want to know all the fun little bits that you had to cut out because you just didn't have time. Like, I want to know all those details. So I love writing an author's note, and I don't want to have to like write a really short author's note. So I feel like I've given myself some really good breathing room as far as the author's notes and the acknowledgements are concerned. I also take my acknowledgements very seriously. You got to thank the people who help you along the way, because even though I'm writing these books, I do have lovely friends and family who either support me by like reading drafts and giving me feedback, or they support me by like meeting up with me when I need to like get away from my book, but they also forgive me when I like drop off the face of the planet for months at a time. So you gotta thank the people who helped you. So yeah, I feel really good about where we're going. Like, if I don't cut anything else from the rest, I will be fine. But I think between these last 8 chapters, I will probably cut at least another couple hundred words. So I think we'll end up somewhere around at least 96.5 thousand, if not more like 96.2 or 3,000. So yay, that's exciting. But yeah, as of today, I'm feeling pretty confident that I will finish copy editing this week. And then I can take a nice relaxing break over the weekend, although I might be doing some writing over the weekend. That'll still be fun. So yeah, the things that aren't getting done, I feel like I'm making progress on copy editing, but it feels like it's a bit like last week, where yes, I got all the line editing done last week, which was fantastic, but I also got nothing else done other than line editing last week, and that's not so good. And I feel like this week it's kind of the same. I got a few things done on Monday, then yesterday I just didn't get anything done other than editing. I never crossed it off my list yesterday. I did edit and the vlog, and I edited the book, but that was it yesterday. And then today, like, I didn't even bother filling out my planner for today. So yeah, that's where we're at. But it's only Wednesday. I still have 2 days, so I might be able to get stuff done tomorrow. Next week I'm gonna have to, like, next week, this is also why I think I'm really pushing myself to get the copy editing done this week, because next week I have to be focused on other things next week. As I'm filming this, today is July 9th. On Monday the 14th, I need to start doing some teaching work again, because on Monday the 21st, so a week from this coming Monday, a week from the Monday you're watching this, because I believe this vlog will go up on the 14th. So a week from when you're watching this, my syllabi are due. They won't take that long. They won't even take a full week, but I'm gonna make myself kind of take next week to work on those things. Plus, I'm going up for promotion this fall semester, which is awesome, but applying for promotion is basically like applying for a job. You've got to put together all the same materials for 1 week. I'm just going to slip into teacher mode again and do as much work as possible in like 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. So yeah, I need to be making a lot of progress on this week, because next week it's not going to be able to be my main focus. So I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, this stage of copy editing is just staring It's just staring at the screen and scrolling. It's a lot of scrolling because I'm not making that many changes. I'm cutting a word or two here and there. I'm adding commas. I'm still not 100% sure that I'm getting all the commas in the right places. So if there are any misplaced commas in the final draft, forgive me. Take pity on me, have mercy. But yeah, there's not a whole lot that I'm actually changing. There's a little bit of line editing that's slipping in, but for the most part, like, it's minimal changes. The words are adding up, but like on some of these chapters, I'm only cutting like 20 words or 5 words. But then there'll be one chapter where I cut like 100 words because I cut out like 2 or 3 lines of text or something. But it's going well. So this morning, I broke it up again today. I did one this morning while I was on the walking pad watching the Tour de France. That worked pretty well because it was the time trial today. So time trials, there's only 2 usually. I think there's going to be one more towards the end this year. And time trials are just a little bit boring for the first couple of hours. Until like the top 10 riders start going. It goes in reverse order. The riders who are at the top of the leaderboard are the last riders to go. And it's not until they get on the course that like it starts being worth watching and like really interesting. So it was a good day today to like have it on in the background while I was copy editing. So I got one chapter done on the walking pad this morning, and then I took a bit of a break. I had a really nice relaxing morning, honestly. And then I got to work and I did 2 chapters, and then I went and took another break and did some reading. I wanted to finish a book today. I'll talk about that in a moment. And then I came back and sat back down and did the last 2 chapters, and now I'm done and I can go back to reading. So reading update, I want to talk about this book. It's called Cast. It was so good. It was a tough read, but so good. Cast, The Origins of Our Discontents by Isabel Wilkerson. Add it to your list. It's nonfiction. It's nonfiction, but even if it is the only nonfiction book you read, you need to read this book. The history in it is fascinating, gripping, heartbreaking. It's about racism, but it's about more than racism. It's really hard to explain, and I'm still in that stage of I've just finished reading it and it has blown my mind just a little bit, and so I can't really speak coherently about this book, but it is so good. It's very compellingly written, which makes it a very fast-paced book. I've read it over the course of the last 4 days. So I started it on Sunday, and then I've read it Monday, Tuesday, and today. But I probably could have read it in 3 days. So very, very good. Again, if it's the only nonfiction book you read, I would highly recommend it. It's probably my favorite nonfiction read of the year so far. And I've read a few nonfiction books so far this year, but it's definitely my favorite. Just because of not only how interesting the history is, but the way that she brought together the history of the American South and slavery, the history of the Nazi regime, as well as a lot of history of India and the caste system in India. The way she brings it all together, the connections she makes, it's so important. It is so important now more than ever. So there's your nonfiction recommendation of the vlog. It's one I just knew I wanted to talk about and not wait until I do a bit. I will talk about it more in a future video, I'm sure, and I will probably be talking about it, like I probably will have already mentioned it in my newsletter, but yeah, this is one I'm probably not going to shut up about for a while because it was that good. But I am now shifting to like more lighthearted or just easier, less challenging reads because my brain really needs that. This was a library book. I want to get a physical copy though, because I think it's one I would want to read again. I did export all of the notes and highlighted sections from the Kindle book. I will say if you read it on Kindle, there are so many notes in the back of the book, and her bibliography was like almost 20 pages long. I think it just felt like it went on forever and ever. She's cited so much material and done so much research, but none of the notes are hyperlinked within the text. So if you're reading it on Kindle, you're not, I don't know how you would access. I mean, you could go back, but you wouldn't know what has a notes. This is the second book I've seen that formats the notes in this way, and it literally does my head in. I do not like when they do the notes formatting the way that this book does. I don't know what the style is, because I don't even think it's Chicago style. I don't like it. The English teacher in me, who's like all about clearly citing your sources, does not like this style. So she does cite stuff. It's just a little bit hard when you're reading it, and I think it's almost impossible to check that in the Kindle book. But yeah, it's really, really good and very well researched, but it doesn't feel academic as you're reading it. So that was also really good. So yeah, it was a library book, so it came available, and I didn't want to delay delivery because I'm trying to clear out my holds list. So even though I wasn't really in the mood to read it, like I am in the depths of my seasonal depression. So it wasn't really what I was in the mood for, but I knew I needed to read it, and I'm glad I did. But I am honestly in the mood for either lighthearted rom-coms or just quick, twisty thrillers, and that's what I'm going to be reading next. So I now have Ruth Ware's new book, One Perfect Couple, or The Perfect Couple, something like that. It's also a library book, and that came available really quick. There was only one person ahead of me. I was like literally waiting for the next copy, so someone finished reading and a copy was available. So I've already downloaded that and started reading that. I started reading the first chapter on my break before getting back to copy editing, and made myself put the book down because I could already tell I was getting sucked into it. I'm thinking I might be done with that book by Friday, so if I finish that before I end this vlog, I will let you know how that book goes. But yeah, that's it for this update, and I don't need to end the vlog. Don't end the vlog, Andrea, but you do need to stop talking because this has been 20 minutes almost, and I'm gonna have to cut like at least 25% of this clip, if not 50%. So I'm gonna shut up and let's just jump into Thursday. It's Friday. It's 11:38 a.m. I need this day to be done. I need this vlog to be done. I need to just go crawl under a blanket and like not come out for the weekend. I'm okay. I'm fine. I just can't cope anymore. I've reached my coping limit, and it's just kind of one of those mornings / days where if the plan had been to do a single day vlog, I'd be scrapping it. I wouldn't be vlogging today. If I was at like chapter 10 instead of chapter 19 and like about to finish this copy edit pass, I would just be taking the day off. So, because I know some of you are going to be like, Andrea, you need to like step away. You're right. You're right. It's just one of those days where I want to just step away from everything, but I'm so close to finishing this vlog and finishing this copy edit pass that I just need to buckle down and get stuff done. But it's just the heat. I can't, it's a summer. I can't handle it. I'm done. I'm so done with summer. Anyway, I did go for a hike. The hike for the most part was lovely and really what I needed. I needed more. I needed more of it, and I needed it to be just a little bit cooler. If it could just be like just 5 degrees cooler in the mornings. It would make such a difference. And I do think those days will hopefully be back within the next like 6 to 8 weeks. The mornings will get back to being just a little bit nicer. So I'm just trying to hold on for that. I did have almost the entire hike in the shade of the mountain, and that was really, really nice and did make a difference. It does help with the heat when at least the sun isn't bearing down on you. But there was a bit of a heartbreaking discovery at the end of the hike. I honestly don't know how I missed it at the beginning of the hike because I walked right by it, but I think I was just looking towards Camelback Mountain instead of towards the McDowells. But on the way back, I discovered that one of the biggest and probably one of the oldest and one of the most beautiful saguaro cactuses in the park, especially right there by the visitor center, had fallen and is no longer. I mean, it's in pieces on the side of the trail, but like that's not the same thing. So I spoke with the volunteer who was at the visitor center, and I guess they got there last week and it had collapsed on top of the bridge, and so they had to cut it up to get it off the bridge. When a saguaro falls out in the park, it's a nature preserve, so when it falls out in the park they don't do anything, they just leave it. But if it falls on top of a trail or across a trail, they've got to move it off the trail, but they don't remove it from the park. So it's really, really sad. And I don't, like, the world is sad enough right now. I don't need more sad things. So we're not going to think about it. We're going to think about copy editing. It doesn't help that I'm also kind of tired because I still woke up at 10 to 5 a.m. this morning to get out there for that hike before it got too hot. And I was up way too late last night reading a book. There was nothing on YouTube I really wanted to watch. I'd already watched the things I wanted to watch yesterday. And so I just decided to put on a like music ambiance type video and read. And so I finished reading Ruth Ware's thriller, One Perfect Couple. Really good. Definitely recommend it. Not my favorite of her books, but I would say if you're looking for a good kind of summer thriller, this one would fit that bill. One Perfect Couple is set on a beach. It's like at a beach resort with a reality TV show, and that's all I'm gonna say about it because it will spoil it. But yeah, not my favorite of all of her books, and I've read several at this point by Ruth Ware, so not my favorite of hers, but still really good read and kind of what my brain needed. Just something fast-paced, don't have to think too much, kind of pieced together where some of the things were going, but there were still some things I didn't guess. So love when that happens. So yeah, I'm now gonna switch to, I think it's a romance. It's called High Dive. My friend Kaylin read it and was raving about it. So that's up next. But all of these books came available on the library's website all at the same time. So I just downloaded them all to my Kindle app before I could change my mind. So I need to get through them. So that was one reason why I read One Perfect Couple so quickly. But yeah, next up will be High Dive. And I think that's just like a nice, relatively light-hearted romance, hopefully. It sounds like it might have a little bit more depth, but it's still mostly just like a romance, and that's what my brain kind of needs. So speaking of romance, I'm almost done with this pass of the copy edit. So I'm probably about half done with the copy edit in total, because I don't think reading through the PDF version is going to take as long as reading through it on Scrivener. But this is, I'm almost done with part 1 of a 2-part copy edit process. So I've got the last 3 chapters and the epilogue. I just want to get them done. I might eat at my desk. I will probably get up at some point because, like I said, it's 11:45 now. So I don't think I want to take a break to eat lunch. I just want to get this done. I just want to get this done so that I can just stop work for the week. Nothing else is going to get done. I've given up. My brain is not in a great place at the moment. I'm hoping my book and the ending of my book will lift my mood just a little bit. It usually does. But then I really want to spend the rest of the day just laying on the couch and just zoning out and relaxing. So anyway, enough rambling. I need to get copy editing. I want to try to get this done by 2. That's only 2 hours and 15 minutes from now. But still, if I could get it done by 2, that would be amazing. Have I said I want to be done? I think I have. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to start editing, and hopefully I can get this pass wrapped up by around 2 p.m. If not sooner. Sooner would be great. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with the first copy editing pass. And I'm tired. But it went well. I love the ending. I feel like in a romance novel, in any novel, like the ending is always important in any book you read. But like, if you really don't stick the landing with the romance novel, if the ending just feels a little bit it just ruins the whole experience. I'm really happy with the ending. The epilogue is probably a little bit longer than it needs to be, and it's 2 scenes, which normally for the epilogue it's just 1 scene, but there were 2 things that I'm trying to wrap up for the book, and so yeah, I could take one of them. The final scene of the epilogue has to be the final scene of the epilogue. The first scene of the epilogue, I could pull that out and make that like a bonus scene on Patreon, but even though it makes the book longer, it needs to be in the book. So yeah, so hopefully you all will enjoy it when you read the ending. But yeah, these last few chapters, there's a lot that happens. And so it's very exciting, but I'm happy with it. So final tally for this pass of the copy edit. So I cut 75 words yesterday. I don't think I talked to you all yesterday. So I cut 75 words yesterday, and I cut 81 words today. So I have cut a grand total of 3,102 words from draft 6. So the final word count of draft 6 is 96,445 words. So I have plenty of room for a nice long author's note and acknowledgement section. Which makes me very happy, because the author's note of this one, I'm going to have to really restrain myself, because there's so much of like my own family history that I put into this book that I want to explain in the author's note. But yeah, it's come along, and now this version is done. Now what's next? So what is next is I need to export. First I need to save. Click save, because that's important. Then I need to compile. I need to compile a PDF version. Copy edit. I'm gonna say part 1 finished, because I'm not done copy editing yet. It's the 6th draft. I create so many different, just FYI in case anyone's wondering, I create so many different files of each of my books at each stage. So I'll have an outline document, a first draft document, a second draft document, a third draft document. Because even though you can do snapshots in Scrivener and like you can save different versions of things and I can move the outline to a different section of Scrivener, I like having everything saved and exported in the cloud and all of that. So yeah, it's I end up with a lot. So I've exported the PDF, but now I'm going to export a Word doc as well, and I'm going to email that to myself because I am very paranoid when it comes to my writing. So everything is like, it's saved in Scrivener, it then is backed up to my cloud service, but I also like to email things to myself, and then I have it saved in my email. If anything happened, if Scrivener died and my laptop died and I couldn't access my cloud, as long as I can access my email, like it's like as long as I can access my cloud or my email or Scrivener, like one way or another, I'd be covered. So everything's backed up. I will now put the PDF onto my iPad. I need to make sure, well, I've got all weekend to do this because I'm not going to start any of this now, but I need to make sure that my Apple Pencil is charged. And so next week I will read through the draft again on my iPad as a PDF. It's not formatted yet, so it's not the final formatted PDF. It's just a generic PDF. So I'll read through it and annotate it. I'm hoping that A, it'll go quickly, that reading on my iPad will be quicker than reading on Scrivener, and that B, there won't be that many things to correct. I'm really hoping that this pass got the majority of them, but I'm not deluding myself into thinking that there aren't still things that, there aren't still errors in here. I'm sure there are still errors in here. So we'll do one more copy edit pass, hopefully be done with that by the end of next week, by Friday the 18th, and then I need to proofread. I need to format and proofread. So that's all coming. I'm thinking, I had the thought, we'll see how I feel over the weekend, but I'm thinking I might take Monday away from the manuscript as well and spend Monday doing some work on the cover and doing some work on like drafting the first draft of the author's note and the acknowledgements, and just going through creating my list and then going through my list of everything needed for the front matter and the back matter and getting those things drafted as much as possible. Then on Tuesday I can start the copy edit read, and if I'm reading then 5 chapters a day on my iPad, which I think is possible, then I could still be done by Friday. August 1st is still a possibility, and I'm still working towards August 1st to upload, but I also still have that voice in my head that's like, that's still a bit delusional to think that you'll have everything done by then, so we'll just have to see. But that's where things are at the moment. This copy edit pass has gone very well. I feel really happy with how things have gone. I'm really happy with where the manuscript is at. But yeah, I do love this story. I really do. So I hope you all love it as much as I do. My shoulder has not been good today. So it's another reason why I'm ready to just be done. I've not got much work on anything else this week done. It really has been now 2 weeks in a row of focusing more on this project and not really having mental capacity or bandwidth or time to focus on other things. That is going to have to change next week. I wish I didn't have a deadline in the middle of July for the semester, but I'm also looking at my calendar and thinking about next week and the deadline of the 21st, and that it's the 11th, and I'm realizing there's only 6 weeks, I think, if I'm counting right. There's only 6 weeks left of summer. I don't need to think about that. We're gonna back away from that thought slowly. I'm gonna wrap up this vlog. I'm gonna go crash on the couch, start reading a novel, escape from life for a little while, and not think about how This summer is truly just flying by. I need to stop staring at my calendar. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'd really appreciate both of those things. Say hi in the comments. Let me know how you're doing. On your way down to the comments section, you can open up the description box. You'll find links to all my things, my newsletter, my Patreon, my books, all of my books. This book will be coming out very soon. If I have my way. Still have plenty of time to read the first 3 books if you wanted to. You don't have to. You can just dive straight into book 4. But, I mean, you've got some time if you want to go back to book 1 and start from the beginning. And yeah, in the comments section, emojis. Leave me some flower emojis, because there's flowers on my desk pad, there's flowers on my notebook, there's flowers, fresh flowers next to me, so leave me some flower emojis. And our question of the vlog, my brain is fried, so I have no questions, so just, I don't know, give me an update. Let me know how you're doing. What are you working on? How's your summer going so far? Is summer like flying as quickly for you as it feels like for me? Especially for those of you who are academics or who teach or who are students and who are like on the academic schedule where you have more time off in the summer. Like, it just, is it flying? Because I feel like it's flying and I need it to stop flying. So yeah, just give me your general update. Give the vlog a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'd really appreciate both of those things. And I'm gonna go now because I've been talking for way too long. So yeah, come back to the next vlog and I will see you all then. Thank you very much for watching today. Bye!